and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywoods, and Happy New Year to everyone. Guys, how are we? How was Christmas? How was the year? Tom is buzzing after today. Answer all them in one go.
I thought Dave was going to answer. I'll answer then. Yeah, good Christmas. Nice to chill out and relax with the family. And then, yeah, good runners. When do we have? Yeah, Cool Arcade was just before Christmas. And then Alice Avril was second today on her seasonal comeback. Stuck the hood on her. She wore a hood when she won in France. That seems to have worked. And, yeah, ran all the way to the line. Ran a really nice race in a 0 to 130 handicap. So, yeah, I'd say there's a lot of nice races to be run with her. Looking forward to it.
Plot Shop Festival. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Dave's little grand annual bet might not be beyond the realms of possibility.
She's a good bit to go. She's a good bit to go yet, but if she was to win next time, we could, maybe have a look at some of those better races. I think we'll try and get a win on the board with her first, and then go from there.
David Sanchez, what about you?
Yeah, my Christmas was grand. I've have a few things to show you. I hid these. I want to say thanks to the people that sent me presents over Christmas.
I know it's after 8 o'clock and everything. Hold up now.
This is a family show, Dave. It's not.
The first one,
not really.
The first one I'm wearing, and I don't know how someone found this, but it's a Dino Dave Christmas jumper.
That's impressive.
I like it.
How good is that? I also got a dinosaur on a lead.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You robbed that off Robin. You know you're going to have to bring that to the racetrack with you now.
A dinosaur colouring book.
Oh, and else.
And I actually got a proper present then, a nice Cheltenham calendar 2022. All the meetings and stuff are all on that. So thanks for all those presents. They're great.
You know you're going to have to bring that dinosaur to the races with you.
On the lead.
I particularly love this.
You have to bring him to...
He's on a lead. He's got a little harness. He's got a harness and everything, look.
You know Robin has one of them, the exact same one.
I didn't. But I have one too.
Wow.
So, yeah. Christmas
That's
is
interesting.
Good. Yeah.
Dino Dave top, Dino Dave. Dino? What? I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be...
Taking the colouring book, Dave.
Yeah. Not getting my dinosaur, so that's the main thing.
Jesus Christ.
Anywho. Well played. Anyway, this is going to be one long-ass podcast. We have the bones of a week and a half of racing to go back over. And we will start on Stephen's Day / Boxing Day with Brave Man's Game. Jumping gets the better of a high senior. A very, very good performance by Brave Man's Game. Jumping is the name of the game, and jumping is what won in the game. A high senior was sketchy at a few, to say the least. Tom, your idea of the RSA winner cemented his place at the top of the market?
Yeah, I thought he was class. I really just did. I thought he was brilliant now. I just love the way he jumps. He travelled and quickened then as well. And we'll keep it short enough on some of these because we've got a lot to go through. But I thought he was electric. All the Ahoy Senior fans were out saying it was the flat track that got him beat, the slow gallop. Well, what I'd say to you is he beat Brave Man's Game at Aintree. That's a flat track. And Ahoy Senior was allowed to set his own pace. So he was obviously going as fast as he wanted to. If he didn't go fast enough, that's his own problem. But Brave Man's Game battered him, and I think he'll beat him again at Cheltenham.
Yeah, I've no qualms with that. There's one horse that's at there firmly at the bombing onto the scene, but we get onto him after as well. That'll be a danger to him. But Dave, Brave Man's Game, good winner of this.
Yeah, he should be probably favourite for the race, not Galopin Deschamps, but we'll get onto that later. He's good. The track definitely did suit him better than Ahoy Senior. Ahoy Senior didn't jump well enough. He probably need a couple more runs before Cheltenham, but I'd happily back Ahoy Senior at Cheltenham. That 3 mile race at Cheltenham is a slog. Brave Man's Game is a speedy kind of horse, so I would take the other two against Brave Man's Game at Cheltenham, but he should be favourite. He's won 2 Grade 1, so.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot closer at Cheltenham. Look, his jumping was bad. Look, he made a bad mistake 11, he nearly fell at 14. Any time that Derek Fox asked him for a jump, he put down every single time. But look, Brave Man's Game battered him at the end of the day. He done what he had to do, jumped very well, took it up, turned in, and there was no coming back for it. I'd be worried about Brave Man's Game at Cheltenham in regards to whether they're bringing him or not, because there's a lot of talk that they're not going to bring him. Do you get that voice as well, Tom, from Nicholas?
I think it's a comment that Nicholas said immediately after, and then I think the owners turned around and said, "No, Paul, we're going for the RSA," and I think he's kind of tracked back a little bit on that now. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't go to Cheltenham with that horse. He ran really well there behind Bob the last day. He's improved for fences. I don't see any reason at all why you wouldn't go. And somebody just put it in the comments, like, maybe they're trying to dodge some of the Irish horses. And I wouldn't say just the Irish horses, but maybe he's thinking, it'll be a bit easier if we go to Aintree. I'm sure he's also got next year's Gold Cup and the future year's Gold Cups in his mind as well. So, look, I'm sure he's a bit skeptical, but I think the owners will put plenty of pressure on him to go there. And yeah, I wouldn't be worried about him running there at all.
This is the thing I'm hearing a lot as well. There's a lot of the trainers coming out and say, we might skip Cheltenham, we might just go to Aintree. Is this fear, or is this just, are they not taking Cheltenham as the be-all of end-all anymore, and they just want winners?
Sorry, Dad, I jumped in there. The only thing I would say, right, and this is coming from an English person, is I don't hear any Irish trainers saying that, and the English have got their asses handed to them on a plate the last couple of years. Doesn't surprise me that they don't want to turn up for it the third time. But anything to say, it's not the be-all and end-all, come off it. It is. It definitely is for everyone. So, yeah, don't mind any of that. They're only running scared if they're not running there, to be honest.
True. Now, we move on to our next one, and this won't take that long, but Everton gets back to winning ways in the Christmas hurdle. Look, it was expected when you break down the race, she probably, with track form and everything else to go with it, she should have beat these. Now, the question is, Nikki came out before this race and said the main aim would probably be the mare's hurdle, because we more or less got our ass handed to it by Honeysuckle. What do you do now? Do you stick to the same route? You go back down over 2 miles, back down, but you stay at 2 miles, or do you chance your arm going into a very competitive mare's hurdle?
I would imagine she'll stay over 2 miles and go to the champion hurdle again, because she kind of fell in at the end. She's traveling really well and then looked like she's going to sprint away, but she only won by a couple of lengths. It's the worst 2 mile hurdle race I think I've ever seen in my life. Grade 1 2 mile hurdle race.
Yeah, it was terrible in the field and who was in it. When you have a horse like Glory and Fortune finish the second spot, he'd be lapped in a champion hurdle. What would you even consider champion hurdle? Look, we kind of, I think you touched on it, Tom, a few weeks ago, that her exertions when she was younger used to race very, very erratically, has finally taken the toll on her. Now, this is a horse where you would consider, right, we're going to skip Cheltenham, we're going to go away from Honeysuckle and all them. She owes us nothing. and we'll just take an easier route with her?
Yeah, look, I mean, she's a champion hurdle winner, right? And I love Sharjah. We'll get onto him later. But for me, unless he's ridden to finish placed, which in fairness he is most of the time at Cheltenham, but unless he's ridden to finish place, he ain't going to win a champion hurdle. You look at the race that the champion hurdle she won, Sharjah was second, and then you're into Darva Star, who I know came back and won, but he's been on a long road out, hasn't he? Darva Star, Silias Emery, Petit Mouchoir, Silver Streak, Epatante Ballyandy. It wasn't a great race. Like, for example, that great horse Pentland Hills went off 9-1 for it. So
great horse. Kubo's Boom Horse.
Kubo's Boom Horse, yeah. I don't know what they'll do with her. I don't fancy her for the mares. I don't think she'd stay that trip. And I don't fancy her for the champion hurdles. I don't know. You may be running the champion hurdle. Get placed.
Are we looking at it though as this is probably the bar take Honeysuckle out of probably the worst crop of 2 mile hurdles we've seen in a long, long time?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, answer that question very quickly.
They all go chasing, you see. Everything's about chasing these days. So.
Yeah, on, like, say, I go 15, 20 years ago, you probably would have at least 2 of the novice chase that went chasing this season, like a Ferny Hollow, a Bob Ollinger, probably would have stayed over hurdles for one season. And now it seems to be a lot about chasing these days. I totally agree with that.
Well,
how do you change it though? What way do you change it to keep the, like, I know Appreciate is staying over hurdles now, but that was on sufferance because they can't get enough runs into him.
I don't know. I just think people want to go chasing. I don't think it's going to change though. Owners want to go chasing. Trainers want to go chasing. You kind of get to that stage then. So your problem is when you come out with novice company over hurdles, it's very, very difficult. As we're seeing with some of those chasers who have come out of those chasers who went straight from novice hurdles to novice chasers. You've got 2 seasons just against novices, and then you come out against open graded chasers. Envoy is the prime example of this, and it's just a different ball game. It's the same over hurdles. If you run it, if you have your season over novice hurdles, say you run 5 times, that'd be plenty, wouldn't it? Really, for most of them, it's rare any of them run over 5 times in their novice hurdle season. So you 5 runs over hurdles max, and then you're straight into open company against hurdles, and it's very, very difficult. So if you can go and then run against novice chasers, who in theory you've been running against all of them anyway, because the majority of them are the novice hurdles from that year, then you've got a chance to continue on where you are. So I think that's how they end up chasing, and then not many horses come back hurdling from chasing, do they? So for me, that's how it ends up. I can see why they do it, but it does deplete the champion hurdle field. I mean, look at Appreciate It. The only reason he's going hurdling is because he had an injury and they don't want to go chasing this late in this season. So he wouldn't be unless he had that injury.
I wish a certain Kenny Alexander would have the same fucking view. Chance miss, Kenny. Gold Cup is there for you.
God, no. But that's the reason why she should stay over hurdles. She's battering everything.
And there's nothing in the next, even if you look at the novices this year, there's nothing in the next 2 years going to get near her if she stays fit and healthy. Is there realistically?
Probably not, no.
So we could be looking at her winning the next 2 champion hurdles this year or next year. But anyhow, we shall move on. Tornado Flyer takes the King George by storm. Look at him. Got it by Tom. You take that credit by.
Christmas paid for.
Now, this race changed more times than Lady Gaga changed in a concert. There were so many ins and outs, leaders and everything else to go with. It was a race that developed over the last mile and a half. Manila Indo and Frodon went off like the clappers. What they were thinking is beyond me, and it kind of paid to be held up off that mad pace, bar a steering kaboom who does what a steering kaboom does. False. But Tom, your horse, Tornado Flyer, great shout. Got the job done nicely. has firmly put his hat into a Gold Cup field that looks open after the racing over the. Look, an each way show at least. Proud of yourself.
Yeah, I love these Willie Mullins chases because they pop up once every while at massive prices and do me a favour. Total Recoil being the last one in the Tiestas a couple of years ago, a big price. I honestly thought this lad would be running on for a place. I could definitely see. Every time I looked at the race when we were studying it, I could definitely see him getting a place every single time. I didn't think he'd win. I didn't think the race would be run quite like that, though. I thought Frodon would have the lead and go a fine, sensible gallop. But every time he slowed down, Manila Indo went and took him on, and the two of them just cut each other's throats, really. And then any time other than that, somebody else wanted to go forward. Gavin Sheehan went forward then, and Danny Mullins just said, carry on. Carry on. I honestly think he's a fantastic jockey. He's ridden a few of my friends' horses, so I've seen it, and he's won on them, and I've seen him ride those and watch the races closely. And I think he's a cracking jockey. And what makes him a cracking jockey is he's intelligent. He's a really intelligent chap. He's got a right head on his shoulders now, and he doesn't panic. He just does the sensible, correct thing. And I think he's got his due reward now over this Christmas, winning on Stormy Island as well. So I don't know about Gold Cups and stuff. Could I see him running on for the first four there? Yeah, potentially I could, if they gave him that same kind of ride again, which I would hope they would. But yeah, I think there'll be a couple too good from the Gold Cup.
Dave, poor Iola Styrian. What? We talked about it over Christmas. And you were saying that when he fell, he got up and he looked at Brian and he went, sorry about that.
Yeah, he didn't even gallop away. He just stood beside Brian staring at him. So he's just a head case. He's gonna always flirt with being great and then jump into disaster. So it is what it is. I thought it was a poor enough race.
You just wait until punches down.
They went too fast anyway. I thought Asterian traveled lovely and so did Tornado Flyer, but they stayed away from the early pace. Jockey on Tornado Flyer was very good because he just stayed out the back, and if Gavin Sheehan on St. Cavados might have done that, he might have had a better chance because he went to the front and then died off. He went to the front too soon, but it's just, I don't know. King George it's a far cry from what it used to be when Coro Star was winning it and so on and so forth. But fair play to Tom. He got a nice winning price on Tornado Flyer.
What do we make now of Indo underperformed? Chantry House didn't underperform. He's shit. Indo. We'll start off with Indo first. Look, you could probably scrap that run. Rachel even said herself she went too fast. Did a cheek piece have a effect on the way he ran?
Look, it's just very hard. We talked over it, and I was talking to a few people. It's very hard for 3 mile chasers to be on top of their game all the time. There's none like there was years ago when we were watching Denman and Quarter. They don't continually win grade ones every year, and Indo might have topped out last year winning the Gold Cup. I wouldn't. I like the horse a lot. I think he's an unreal looking horse and he looks the part, but that's 2 bad runs in a row. She definitely went too fast on him, but I don't know. I couldn't be backing him for the Gold Cup. I look for an outsider now.
I wouldn't call his first run a bad run, considering that was his first run of the season, and historically, bar last year, he always needs his first run.
You want him to come on for it, though.
Look, that was a balls up of a ride by Rachel, and she even said it herself. It was more me than the horse.
He's beaten with a circuit to go. Like, Cheltenham is probably more his track and all, but, like, you just couldn't be backing him with confidence now, like.
Look, you can always go there, but you look at his record at the festival, he's 2 wins and nabbed on the line second by Champ. I think he'd be a different horse at Cheltenham, but I still think the stablemate might still beat him. Dave, Chantry House is the horse you were kind of like. Look, there was a lot of money for him. Look, I don't know what he done. I didn't really look at him. Never really travelled an inch. What do you make of him?
He's gone after 2 fences, so I'd watch him the next day. I think he's going to be at Cheltenham the next day over 3 mile 2 or whatever the Gold Cup trip. But I thought he had a bit of speed because he won the March last year. He was slow as tar. He couldn't even keep up for 2 fences. So that was the end of him.
For me on him, right, is exactly what we're on about with Novices stepping out of novice company. Now, he stepped out of novice company for the first time into a race that was run at a ridiculous gallop, and he hadn't feckin' clue what to do with himself. I think it just completely took him by shock. He's never raced in a race like that before, and he didn't know what to do with himself.
And this is the thing I always say, and I keep going back to the Irish going to Cheltenham. They're going to have at least one race like that where they're all going flat to the boards. And it's not a shock to the system by the time they get to Cheltenham. And I think that's another big factor of why the Irish have so much success. It's a lot more competitive. There's a lot less opportunity to dodge each other. And the horses have that experience going. And I think Chantry House probably will have a bit of more know-how about him come to Cheltenham. But for me, I don't think he has a chance in it. But that's just me. Right, we move on. Sir Gerard adds another dimension to the Supreme. Is Jambon quaking in his boots, Tom?
Well, he should be, I think. I definitely think he should be. Thought this lad was very good. Didn't really, well, came off the bridle a small bit, but it was just nudged out. And apparently the time was very, very good as well. Look, he's got the Cheltenham form. I think he's got a hell of a chance. Absolutely hell of a chance.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I loved everything and how he done it. I think he's the closer we get to, I think the closer they're going to come in the market because, you know, Willie and the Supreme. Dave, would he be the one you're going with in the Supreme as of, say, it was tomorrow? Would you be going for him?
Yeah, I hadn't really decided on one. I think Nickies are decent enough, and I wouldn't be so sure that there'll be no champion hurdle horse next year to take on Honeysuckle because I reckon one of Nickies will stay hurdling anyway. But he would be my pick for the Supreme now. His time overall, Tom, wasn't great, but it's like from 3 out, he was extremely fast. When he turned the taps on and started to race, it was really impressive from then on in. So, yeah, I think he would probably go into the times. Dublin Racing Festival. Yeah.
I think you just have to get the break fast. Like.
Yeah, but in races like that, like you can go back to Jambon's race, his first 2 races. If you go into realistic times, he was shit. I don't see, especially in maidens and slow run novices, hurdles and whatever. I don't see how they can compound against each other. To me, look, you obviously do the times and that. To me, it's just visually what he does when he's asked to do it. How far he stretches, how much he opens up and puts distance between horses.
Yeah, but then in that case, they could crawl around. Like,
if you
Jambon could crawl around,
if
like
you go on
and just sprint, and he's done nothing. Yeah. Like if they go a proper gallop all the way, and then they quicken up. That's what
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't take notice of any times because the first 2 times he crawled, first time they crawled.
If you were to, you're saying not because like they crawled around, but like I said to Tom, it's from 3 out, and you're going on about horses putting distance between other horses. If you clocked those fractions, they're the important ones, and what you're seeing is actually the speed of the race and how fast the horse is going, and the actual reason that you're interested then because you're watching it. Like if you clock the times, his time would be impressive.
Yeah, but I'm just on about the race as a whole.
They definitely do. They definitely do matter. And if you compare them with like races on the same day, or like a novice hurdle 2 mile against like a handicap 2 mile, where there are horses that have like raced numerous times, you can compare them and you can see how good novices are compared to like
But
seasoned
then you have to look at the races.
handicappers, like in a maiden hurdle.
But then you're looking at what way is the race run. Have they gone really? I know have they slowed down somewhere? Have they picked up somewhere? There's so many different angles. And look, to you it works. For me, it doesn't. The way I do it, but I get what you're saying and how you look at it in that way. In the flat, I presume it's a lot more telling. But I don't know in the jumps, but that's just the way I look. But I get from the 3 out on, it was fast. And there's no qualms about that. I'm just talking about overall shite and whatever. But yeah, Dublin Race Fest next for him.
Presume so, yeah.
Go right. Move on. Phil Lore cements himself as the best Irish juvenile hurdle. Tom, we had a quick chat about this one at the pub. He's a horse you're kind of keen to take on come Cheltenham.
Yeah, I'm mad keen to take this lad on come Cheltenham. I must have a look there what price he is. But I can guarantee you almost there will be something that comes out that is better than him. Willie has heaps of them to run. He ran a nice one, Ikra Allen.
About 94.
What's his name? Nicholas had a nice one at Kempton, the Bryony Road. They went a really good gallop, and he quickened and went on again. I'm just keen to take him on. Look, I could be miles off the mark, but if I had one to take on at the minute, it would be a toss-up between him and American Mike. 2 of them, I'm keen to take on. Yeah, he's 3-1. Like, for me, that's mental. He's 3-1. Ikra Allen is 14-1. Jesus, Knight Salute is 16-1. Like, I'd much rather back Knight Salute now than Phil Lore, to be honest. And yeah, I'm just keen to take him on. The one I liked is Baritska, is it? The horse who won Baron Wild's race at Ferny House. I thought he made a really bad mistake at the second or third last, and Jack, I think it was Jack, wasn't it? Yeah, Jack was,
Jack was on
Jack riding him. Yeah, and he just looked after him from there. He just really nudged him along, and he wasn't really hard on him. He finished third, and I'm quite keen on him for the Boodles.
Dave, what do you make of him? Is he a horse that you're kind of one for finding, one for the Triumph? Is he one that stands out to you?
I wouldn't back any Juvenile for the Triumph until about February, so it's all the one to me. He's looked impressive, but he needs soft ground, and don't know if he's going to get soft ground at Cheltenham on March. But yeah, I just wouldn't be backing any Juveniles this long out for me personally.
I've no view on it either. Right, one a lot of people have had a lot of different views was Ferny Hollow seen off Riviere de Tel in the novice chase. A lot of people are saying it was fairly impressive, unbelievable forms. And a lot of people are saying he should have beat her a lot further. 2 of you are kind of in one camp or the other. Dave, you're very in the Ferny Hollow was impressive. Tom, you correct me if I'm wrong now. You said he should have beaten her by a lot further.
I wouldn't say a lot further. My point was, everyone was saying, "Oh God, that was an amazing performance to beat her and give her £13." If she turned up, if the 2 of them turned up in the Arkle, he's got to give her £7 anyway. So it's only £6 less. You well expect him to go and beat her by a few lengths. I know. Look, it was a very good performance. I thought he jumped really well. I'm really keen on him for the Arkle, but she's a fine filly. But by God, I don't think she's an Arkle horse. Like I really thought he would win. That's why I think I'd put him up as my next best or something. And he did, and he won well. In fairness, I think he probably would have won a couple of lengths more if the fences were in the straight. I think he was jumping that well that they would have helped him. And he's just dug down and got the job done. But I wasn't surprised to see him beat her at all.
Ferny Hollow corner, take it away.
Look, it's only his third race over jumps. Like, I thought he was very, very impressive for that. He might want to delete that thing out of the comments.
Your friend is in the comments, Andrew.
Oh, for the love of God.
That's that guy from Wolverhampton, isn't it?
Who?
She's a very good filly, I would say, going forward. There's just it's as much I think Ferny is very good as the race is poor enough. I'd say the second best horse in the race is Blue Lord. I'd be fairly certain Willie thinks Ferny Hollow will beat Blue Lord. Edward Stone, there's people going on about him. Just you need to stop now. He's beating
if he
English
wins an Arkle, I give up.
I'm a fan of some English horses, but none of them English 2-milers are anywhere near good enough. So he should win. He's probably still.
Sorry, Dave. Someone just said Edward Stone wins the Arkle by 10. If
my bollocks does he?
If Edward Stone wins the Arkle by 10, I will donate €100 to the Injured Jockeys Fund.
Well, you just saved yourself €100. I think you should do it anyway.
Probably should just do that anyway. We don't. Shameless Pimlico plug, but we do actually take money each month and put it towards the Irish Injured Jockeys Fund. We are going to present them with a check at the end of the year. So the end of the season, I should say. But so they'll get money out of us anyway. But yeah, if he goes and wins by 10 lengths, or if he just wins, I'll donate £100 to the Irish Injured Jockeys Fund.
Not a hope is he going to win.
He won't. So it's no
chance. No hell is he going to win an Arkle. Do you know? I'll say it again. Do you know? I think the problem with Ferny Hollow. I think he'd be a lot better held up off a pace. I think they set him up with a change of gear he has. I think he'd batter a field.
He might get that pace if that crazy horse that ran in the Supreme runs. That he's in the pink colours. Yeah, he might go in the Arkle and go like lunatic. And if he does, then you get what you're looking for, Andrew.
You could have a few like that. Like if Riviere the Tell comes, I'd leave her off. Off you go, love. Bowl around there. Tom's has a face on like he's at there seeing a ghost.
Edward Stone is second favourite for the Arkle.
Stop the lights, will you?
That's why I said Ferny is going to win.
Hold up now.
How is he short the Blue Lord? That's mental. That's crazy stuff.
Arkle.
Not having that at all.
4-92. No thanks. You get Blue Lord at 8. There's your each way bet now.
Wow.
That's madness.
I'd rather back Riviere to Tell, even after all I've just said about her. But she's as big as 14s. I'd rather back her at 14s than him at 4s.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to another 4-year-old. Porticello proves his Triumph Hurdle credentials. Look, he's a horse that's a lot of talent. The race probably fell apart a bit. A horse that looks like he needs soft ground as well. But he proved, look, he could play a hand in the Triumph just behind Night Salute as well. They could have a hand going into this now, the English.
Yeah, I have the same feeling on this. It's a Juvenile in December, January time, so no thanks. And he definitely needs soft ground as well. He needs like French heavy ground. So
yeah, the softer the better for him. So if it comes up as soft on a Friday at Cheltenham, you might be working in each way punt. I think he's still 18s, 20 to 1.
Night Salute was better than him.
Yeah, Night Salute was better than him.
I think on soft ground they might turn around. But anyway, there's a quick one out of the way. Now, we just talked about a minute ago. Edward Stone continues to gain respect. Over fences. I said respect until I realised he was 9-2, second favourite, and people are just going insane, and they would want to have a long, hard look at themselves. Look, we touched on already. I can't see it. You can't see it. And Dave can't see it. What are people seeing? He's beaten he's beaten Tripe.
Yeah, he's picking up good. He's picking up not good races, basically. Now, in fairness to him, he's doing it well. He's doing it well, and I've nothing against the horse at all. He's just not in the same league as a couple of those Irish horses. I think Blue Lord and Ferny Hollow, like either of them, would batter him. To be honest, so I just can't have it.
He beat Do Your Job, Solo, and Ray of Time. When Ray of Time was trained by Henry the Bromhead, he's running around Wexford.
And still couldn't win.
Like, he's not good enough. Like.
He
still couldn't win around Wexford.
Genuine. Oh, he's the most ungenuine faker you'll ever come across in your life.
Solo literally hasn't won a race since he won the race at Kempton, and he was made favourite for the Triumph like 3 years ago. Hasn't won a race
since Paul Nichols called him the next Denman.
Yeah, no, and not having Edward Stone for an uncle. Fair play to him. He's done his winning, but nah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, now we get interesting. Shishkin dominates the Desert Orchid. Dare I say an Altior-esque performance?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I've always
for me, it was.
Shut up, Tom. I'm talking.
Dave's about 2 seconds behind all of us.
That's that solid body on it.
I was saying for me it was. Yeah, it probably is, to be honest. For me, it was the most impressive performance of any horse at Christmas. Very akin to Altior, where he looked like he wasn't really bothered down the back straight, and he got shut down then, I think, a 4 out, and just like a rock up his hole, then he went off and he won, and that was the end of it. So it's very impressive.
Impressed with that, Tom, now?
Yeah, I was really impressed. I've always said I like the horse. He has his knockers, I think, because he's trained by Nicky Henderson. People seem to not like poor old Nicky. But yeah, I thought he was very good. He reminds you so much of Altior because of the way he runs. It's just mad. You think he's in trouble, and you're like, okay, if he wins this, he'll only win this a couple of lengths. And then by the time they get to the finish, he's bolted up. I said it at the time, I think I tweeted it, or if I didn't, I just said it to you guys. I really just hope now, from a racing point of view, and even not going into a racing point of view, from a really selfish point of view, for me, I would quite like to sit down and watch the Queen Mother with Shishkin and Energumene against each other. And that would make me a very happy man on the Wednesday at Cheltenham if that happened. And I tell you something, I love the two of them. I'll be sitting down, I'll be pumping my feet up, I'll have a bottle of beer in my hand, and I'm going to watch the race and enjoy it. And I just really hope it happens.
Who wins, Energumene or Shishkin?
I think
it's too long. Quickly.
No, I can't. It's so impossible to say.
Dave, Energumene or Shishkin? Hold up, I send a pigeon. He might hear it now in a minute.
It all depends on. Yeah, it's too hard. I don't know.
I think the soft ground might
favour
Energumene a little bit, but
what happened where?
Yeah, you went off.
No. You went off.
Yeah, I think soft
Maybe
ground
it's me,
is going to favour Energumene. But that's all. That's the only difference I'd have there. To be honest,
all you want to see, as you said, is the two of them to turn up at March and sit back, relax, and enjoy. Because it's been a long time since we've seen two horses with this kind of talent take each other on over 2 miles.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Joe Robbins on about?
What?
I said, what's your man Joe Robbins on about? I sit in the fence. I'm the only one that doesn't sit in the fence.
Steve sits on the fence. More than a steering of Belange.
Fucking hell.
It's true, oh, Joe. Man. It's right. He never gives his honest opinion. It's terrible. Right, moving on. Poor old Roy just got the job done, and he got taken off the bridle by battle over dog shit.
The big thing here is that everyone wants to talk about in this race is the match bet. Never in doubt. Never, ever,
What was the
ever in
match
doubt.
bet?
Dave had Size and Potsy. I had Battle Over Dog Shit. And it was never.
That went pear-shaped.
And I enjoyed that pint nearly as much as I enjoyed my Indian that night.
You're free Indian, thanks to me.
No, we're not going into that.
But anyway, what do we think of it? What do you do now with him? There's so many things up in the air. He didn't look fast. His jumping was okay. He pegged 2 out. He only beat Battle Over Diane over 2 miles, who's a 3-mile plotter, if we're honest about it. Where in the name of God do you go with him? He's a 3-miler, Tom. He's a 3-miler.
He's just a grade 2 horse, is what he is. Look, it wasn't pretty, was it? Out of Envoy? No. He's clearly struggling a little bit. I don't know whether it's physically he's struggling. The stable form, dare I say, it isn't fantastic at the minute. I don't know what it is.
Or is he homesick?
Or is it just that he's running in open company now? But still, if you roll back to last year, you would have thought he would have beaten Battle Over Dog Shit by more than a couple of lengths, and looking like he was nearly going to get beat on the turn in. So I don't know. I really don't know about him. The jury's out. I wouldn't be putting him up wherever he went next.
Dave, what do we do at Roy?
Send him back to Gordo. I told you this already.
Is he homesick? Why did I even ask that? Here we go. Why did I ask that?
Fucking had him out rolling around the puddle and the day after.
Go. Knew it. The second I said he's going to bring up the puddle.
I knew that was coming.
You've won a grade 1, have a bat and a muck, you prick.
Wins the grade 1, puts the second, maybe third hand jumper back on him, sends him out into a puddle in the piss and rain and in the middle of a storm.
Hang on. I think on behalf of the podcast, this doesn't reflect Dave's opinion.
This doesn't reflect our opinion.
Horses do that shit. They will find a muddy puddle in the middle of nowhere and go roll in it even if they've got a big field of grass.
Like
Envoy will love his life in that puddle.
It's like a 4-year-old child. Green grass everywhere. Water.
Yeah.
That poor horse is going to be running into Kim Muir next year. Just send him back to Gordo. Send him back to Gordo.
Someone's just hit the nail on the head even better. He'll be running across country next season.
There we go. Next time.
It's just a shame
like
to
he was
see
on
him.
the way out. Drags him back in. Grand National horse. We've solved a Grand National horse. After all this debate over the last 4 months, he's a Grand National horse.
That's a good shout, Andrew.
Well, thank you very much.
I can't believe that Battle Over Diane got off the bridle. When I saw that, I was like, right, that is the end anyway. So good night and God bless.
Do you think that Gordon is secretly delighted? Because he had Sam Crow.
He is sitting at home now, like this, legs up on the table, glass of wine. Fuck you, Henry.
This is Sam Crow 2.0, and he's like, and everyone is blaming Henry. Happy days.
Yep.
Poor Roy. May his racing career rest in peace.
Unfortunately,
Gavin Lynch for making Roy overrated. I would definitely blame the Gordon Elliott stable for that more than Gavin Lynch.
What was he? Good as Gavin Lynch.
Gavin Lynch for making Envoy overrated.
There's a lot of people when he won that Ballymore and so on and so forth. He's probably just not that he's just not that good. Like, that's just the crux of it.
Unfortunately. Right, moving on. Mighty Potter holds off 3-striped life. Laggy debut fails the fire. This race didn't done nothing for me whatsoever for the Supreme. Did it do anything for you, Tom?
You might need to get rid of that comment again, by the way.
What, they back again?
There's another one.
Oh, look who it is. Oh, Jesus.
No, that's someone else. Someone else.
Mighty Potter holds our 3-stripe life. Yeah. Largy debut was hanging and running useless.
He bled.
Oh, he bled, did he? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
He
There had to be something
He
wrong
needs
there.
to go. He needs to go the other way around anyway.
Yeah, I think after the first hurdle, he went like he nearly ended up in the stands.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
Won't be going left again, I'd say.
Mighty Potter was good here, but one for me was 3-stripe life. I said it to you guys after. I didn't think Davey got stuck into him like you can see Davey get stuck into them. I don't know why. I'm sure he has a reason. I'm sure he was probably just looking after him. But he didn't really. He kind of rode him into the last. I'd have loved to have seen him really get after him. And for me, he was massively the one to take out the race. And I don't know where you would go with him at Cheltenham. He's a difficult one to decide where to go.
I would go Supreme. A fast run Supreme. He could have that bit extra to stay on past a few horses. He's still a big price. He's 18 to 1 with Hollywood Best still.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to take him a few places, and one is the Supreme. And I've no, if people sat down and argued it with me, I would accept all arguments of where to go because I can see them. I'm keeping him on side for Cheltenham. I think he'll go under the radar a little bit now. But yeah, I'm quite keen on him.
What about you, Dave? What are you making of the runners in this one?
I'd say 3-stripe life is the horse to take out of it because of the jump at 2 out and then having to be switched. But I wouldn't say any of them will be top 3 in the Supreme. You'd imagine John Bond will beat them, and I would think Sir Gerard is better than them as well. So, but they're nice horses, but I think there's better out there.
I still don't think we've seen the best of 3-stripe life. You can say that was the second run over hurdles. He won a maiden that he 1 to 10 or something and gets thrown into a grade 1. Runs like that, which is quite well.
He's still green as black.
I think he could be the flying the ointment in the Supreme. Mm-hmm. I think he's way overpriced. I think I put him up at 33s and he's still 18s, which I still think is a big price. I think close to the time, I think a fast run Supreme on better ground, I think it'll slow him down to the ground. Right. On to one of the most controversial things that happened over the week. Classical Dream gets a dream start and holds off Florin Porter. Myself and Tom were the beneficiary of this nabbing 10 lengths at the start. The argument is, and always will be, was that the winning of the race? Tom.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. He robbed the lead. It was interesting to see what Ruby was saying because that horse actually did the same thing with him in the Supreme. He just put his head down and went. I'm not blaming Paul Townend at all. I'd blame the starter a little bit. I think if he had his flag up in the air like that, it probably should have been a false start. But yeah, I mean, Danny's lined up Florin Porter on the outside, and he's even looking at the starter as they go past. Paul's been able to dictate it then. Danny is the only one who's gone with them. The rest of them haven't. They've absolutely battered a fairly decent field. I was impressed by him, right? But we were talking in the pub that day, and for me, the bet now is Florin Porter. I thought Classical Dream got it all his own way. He was plenty keen. Well, he was keen enough. And I actually think he'd be keener now again over at Cheltenham. He's now a clear favourite, and then his champ. And then you can get 7 to 1 on Florin Porter. For me, Florin Porter chased him all the way to the line. And I know he didn't fully drive out. Well, he drove him out, Classical Dream. But I don't think there was that much left anyway. And I thought Florin Porter, after losing a few lengths at the start, playing follow up to him then all around, and then just kept on going. I think you get to Cheltenham and up that hill. I think I know which one I'd think would be stopping and which one I think would be finishing. And for me, Florin Porter at the prices is definitely an each way bet.
Yeah, like we take the prizes out of it. Like I think I said it in the pub as well. If we get the Cheltenham and the two horses that say are there in one piece, I think we see a different position in for Classical Dream. I think they'll drop him in like they did at Punchestown because there's going to be no hiding place there, and it could be an argument that they're going to go off like the clappers. They know he stays. He travels behind the bridle. As Ruby said, the only place he goes fast is in his head. A 2-1 now is too short. It's way too short right now. And 4 and Porter 6-7-1 is an each way bet. They're not really. But a 4 and Porter, you're a big fan of him. Price is too big for Cheltenham still.
Yeah, like there's nothing between them if the start hadn't happened, and they're probably the two to take into it. I do think the two of them are better than Champ. And they've well and truly battered everything else that is probably was or is going to challenge at Cheltenham. So he's probably the bet because he's so much bigger than Classical Dream. And you would imagine he will lead at Cheltenham. That won't happen again. And you need to get rid of that comment again, by the way.
Anytime I go off it. Where did I start at? Oh, let him off.
But yeah, Classical Dream is very good. I prefer Floor and Porter, but that's Classical Dream done it being held up at Punchestown and done it from the front last week, so he's quite good.
It's another race that's out there getting a bit of spice out of it since Champ and Classical Dream decided to stay. Well, it's not 100% that Champ is definitely staying over hurdles, but if they do turn up as the race that you'll actually have a bit of interest in now.
Yeah, I think Champ will stay over hurdles as well, to be honest. And it actually looks like a good race. However, I've just gone down through the rest of the field. It looks like a good race for the three of them, and maybe Time Hill if you include him. But after that, it's dire. You're struggling for runners after that. Like, it's terrible after that. So
yeah, you have the Bosses Oscar who's presumably staying out of fences. Sir de Burley's had his day. Beacon Edge, Fence Sporting John, God only knows. Roland Pump. Abracadabra's probably not. Yeah, it's much of a muchness after the top four.
Yeah,
you're scratching your head to see what's going to. So that could be a race to fill your boots on reverse strikecast and so on. Right, where are we? Galvin beating Absolute Hard on the line. What we make of it in regards to, first off, Absolute Hard, how he ran, considering how Henry's horses have been running, and does this really make Galvin a Gold Cup horse?
Yeah, I think we've underestimated how good Galvin probably is. His record at Cheltenham is very good. The form of that 4-miler last year was very good. It's not a boat race anymore. It's actually a decent enough race. And it's just when Absolute Hard won earlier in the year in the Betfair, said way too short, and everybody was losing their shit over how good he won and all. Like, Tom was totally against Royal Recoil last year, and that's what he bet at Haydock, in all fairness. So, 3 Mile Chasers, and the Irish are it's way more competitive and is in a more competitive race, and he got outstayed. So, you'd imagine Galvin would be pretty nailed on to place if he jumps the fences in the Gold Cup, because he's going to stay up the hill. So, but again, I'd be looking at, like I said, when Indo, I'd be looking at you need to delete a comment again.
I know, I'm done. Just get a life, man, will you? And piss off.
That's my train of thoughts.
What did he be doing?
But I'd be going for an outsider. I'd be going for an outsider in the Gold Cup now. But yeah, I probably underestimated Galvin myself. I don't think I've ever backed him or thought he would gonna win, but he just keeps doing his thing. So fair play.
I don't know. I'm still not sold on it for some reason. Tom, I don't know about you. I think Absolute Hard come March, he'll be different again, and Same with Indo, and probably look, Album Photo again. He's had thrown his hat back into the ring. This is a race like the stairs. Once you go past the first 3 or 4 in the betting, you're kind of looking at what else is there.
Yeah, in fact, look, we'll give credit to Galvin, I think, because he's a horse. Like I remember saying last year, he was favourite for the 4 miler a long way out, and I couldn't see it. I just didn't get it why he was favourite for the 4 miler. But Gordon got it right about him, and he has gone and taken that step up. He could improve again. He really could improve again. It wouldn't surprise me if he went and won a Gold Cup. I think there is improvement there to come from Galvin. A Plutard, as I know, Dave, you were saying there that, like, you know, what he bet in Haydock, but in fairness to us, we did say that afterwards. That race in Haydock fell to bits. Like, the things that didn't jump in that race was basically the entire field, apart from a Plutard. So we did say that was maybe a bit too good to be true, and he got very short for the Gold Cup. That said, I would have expected him to go and beat Kenboy by a couple of lengths, and he couldn't put Kenboy away. And then he's got chinned by Galvin. And I thought Rachel gave him a fine ride. She took it up when you'd normally take it up. She went to win a race. He went on, but he didn't go on as well as I thought. Now, again, stable form a little bit. And maybe that race at Haydock took more out of him than we thought, you know. So I almost hope they go straight to the Gold Cup now, which I think they will. They did last year. And I think he needs freshening up. And so he needs a couple of weeks chilling out and freshening up again, and straight to the Gold Cup, which I would give him a cracking chance in again. But once you knew that he had freshened up a good bit. So
I'm looking at the betting here now, and I'll be looking at, like, the Gold Cup winner is 10-1, and the Gold Cup second is 5-2. I know Indo is coming on the back of a bad run at the King George. Is that not the bet in the race now?
Andrew, it's so hard to regain the Gold Cup, or it's so hard to win the Gold Cup at your second time trying it. Like we talked about this numerous times. Album Photo, like, no horse had regained the Gold Cup in yonks up to then. Like, Cotto won it and then couldn't win it the year after as well, and he's the best 3 mile chaser probably we've ever seen. Denman won one, couldn't win another one.
But this, yeah, I'm looking at as this. He's beaten Plutard, and he's beaten with a bit up his sleeve in the Gold Cup last year. He has Album Photo's number. Then you're going down to Asturias for launch, Protectorat, Chantry House.
That fucking Protectorat wins the Gold Cup, lads. I swear to God.
They can't win it.
That'll be the last you hear of me on Gold Cup Day anyway.
He can win it because, as Tom has told us numerous times, every horse has its chance.
I'm not getting into this. No, we're not getting into this. We're not getting into this. But
do you think he's valued, though, Andrew, Protectorat?
No. I won't back him in a million years. Not
here we go.
It's a bit like
he should be 500-1.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can see it happening now.
Oh shit! What price you know? 60-1. I'll have a bit of that. In all serious, Plutard was he 5-2, 3-1 now.
7-2, yeah.
7-2. Bit short as far out for a Gold Cup. Gavin 6s. Indo is 10s, 12s, and you have Album Photo then in the 14s. It's up in the air right now. There's no standout going, oh God, he's going to win the Gold Cup, isn't he?
Next destination at 66-1 each way.
Too old.
He has to fucking run anyway, so we don't know where he is.
Let's see if he's still alive. Poor bastard. All right, we move on again. Now, this is many people's best performance of the racing period, whatever, Christmas racing period. Galloping the Champs chase debut at Leopardstown.
There's
And we watched it all.
there's another comment.
Oh, for the love of sweet Jesus
Comment.
Christ.
I just want to know, like, that is insanely quick
How
to be
many
making
views?
new fucking names and shit. Like, that is very impressive.
I'd say the Gmails for the user account are like, I am a loser 1, I am a loser 2, I am a loser 3.
Oh, brilliant. What were we talking about? Galloping
We're
the Champs.
talking about one of the best performances of Christmas, yeah?
We're talking about the RSA winner. Just needs to turn up, win. Tom, don't give me that look.
No, he doesn't need to just turn up and win. He's got Brave Man's Game there to beat at least. I saw a few comments when we were on about Edward Stone and knocking his form, and a few people were saying, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what you say about Galloping de Champs." Then, I think, I mean, Henry's horse has gone and has improved for fences. I can guarantee you that. He was third first time behind Statler. Fleur is a horse I really like. Was placed at Cheltenham last year. Yeah, last year now we can say, behind Galloping de Champs. Ran a nice race on chasing debut. Is rated 140 over hurdles. Blue Sari was back and forth. Is rated 138 over hurdles. Cross Hill is rated 138 over hurdles. That's not a bad field, and he absolutely destroyed them. Like, destroyed them.
They were all gasping for air out.
In fairness, Andrew, you're the one who's put this stat up, so you should be taking credit for this now. I didn't think, I thought he was a nice horse. I never thought he was going to go and improve and do this. But you know, he'd only had the few runs before he went to Cheltenham last year. He went and absolutely bolted up then. He then went and won the Grade 1 at Punchestown, and then he's done this on his chasing debut. Like, it's an incredible performance of Fernston.
Just waiting for the signal to reach Dave here to see what he says.
I know, I heard it. I thought you were going to say something. I think it's fucking scandalous he's 6-4 favourite for the race. When, like I said, Braidman's Game has won 2 Grade 1s. He's beaten a horse that threw in an unbelievable time and performance in Newbury and a high senior who also won a Grade 1 over hurdles last year, over 3 miles. He's probably beaten okay horses, but they're going to be nowhere near winning an RSA. So he did what he had to do. What was impressive was his jumping, because I didn't think he jumped hurdles all that well. So I was very impressed with his jumping, but there is no way in hell he should be 6-4 favourite for an RSA after winning a beginner's chase. I would reserve judgment till he runs again in the Dublin Racing Festival, but I also think he might stay over the March trip. Ruby said it as well.
Can we talk about that now?
It's
talk about this absolute tripe coming out when Ruby watches now.
Go on then, talk about it.
You'll have to take that up with Ruby. I didn't say it.
First of all, right, he won the Martin Pipe over, what was it, 2-4, 2.5, whatever it is. He bolted up then in a 3 mile Grade 1. He's at a 2-4. He bolted up then a 3 mile Grade 1. He's after winning here with his head in his chest over 2 miles 5. The further he goes, the better he's going to be. Yes, it might be the easy option, but he's going to be better over 3 miles. He's just an out-and-out galloper that'll just jump him and
you
gallop
wanted
him
to go over 3 miles. You wanted to go over 3 miles because you have like 40-1 or whatever you got last year.
Shut up.
There's a little bit of relationship bias in that now, to be honest.
Right. Take the betting slips out of it. I still think 3 miles is the same. I think he has everything to be a 3 mile chaser and a Gold Cup horse next year.
I'd have no problem with him if he was like 6-1, but there's no way he should be favourite.
6-4 is ridiculous. I even can say that is absolutely scandalous. This goes to show the anti-post books this year. Ridiculous. He won a beginner's chase at Leopardstown, and the fella that's had to win 2 grade 1s is 4-1. Makes no sense. I can even say it. That makes no sense.
Oh, I've just found a bet.
Oh, here we go.
No,
720.
No. Oh, for Cheltenham, I'm saying for one of the novice chases. I was just going down through the field in one of them and watch one of the next anti-post previews, lads. I'll stick that up definitely.
Find out Wednesday. So
there you go.
Right, where the hell are we? Journey with Me finds his way to the top of the Ballymore market. This is the most up and down market of Cheltenham so far. There's been about 6 different favourites in the last 2 weeks. Done the job well. Look, I'm probably talking from my pocket again. I have them at stupid prices for the Ballymore. I thought it was a good run. I thought, considering how Henry's horse has been running, I thought he done it well. I know Dave's getting on to be saying, I'm calling Bob 2.0. I'm not actually calling Bob as in the next Bob, but he's a similar type.
Dave, I think you did call him Bob 2.0, didn't he?
Yeah, I do call him Bob 2.0.
Yeah.
And he's going to win the Ballymore. And when he wins the Ballymore, I call him 2.0 because he's an absolute weapon. Screw you. All you Bob and Journey with Me haters.
I love how that turned into
2 weeks down
I'm
the
not a
road.
journey with me here at all.
You know what's going to happen, Dave? This is what happened, Dave. Tom will go out to the stables in 3 weeks' time and he'll actually see Journey with Me and it'll change his mind like it changed with Bob. That's what'll happen. Bob haters.
I'm not a Journey with Me hater at all. I actually haven't backed it 80-1. But again, it was total just lunacy when he went into favourite straight after winning that maiden hurdle. It's madness. It's complete utter craziness. It's just robbing people.
I was expecting to be about 10s after that. When he went into 6-1, I was like, no, you can keep it. What do you think?
Robbing people of money. That's all it is.
Yeah, look, I don't know where bookmakers are putting these prices out of their arse. Like, it's did they get battered that much last year in the anti-post books? Tom, it's like
I think they have got battered. That's the problem. And what I think they've done is like a lot of my accounts got closed, and I'm pretty sure it was down to anti-post bets. A lot of it anyway. The prices are terrible, but I mean this is a market that I don't know. I'm not revved about it. Apparently, Dynamo is going here. Then apparently, Stage Star is going here. Ginto will get onto him. He's another one. I'm happy to leave this until much closer to the time this race.
On that note, we'll move on. So, to me now, this is probably one of the best. One of the best finishes we've had. But before we get on to what happened at the finish, let's get on to what happened during the race. The whole not telling me something, girl. She wears it well. Fiasco. Was it the shadows? And there's a lot of people saying the shadows, which going by the pictures, it was the shadows 100%. Happened twice once in the home straight and down the back straight. Was it a bad misjudgment? I don't know what way to look at it. Should have just dulled off all the hurdles that were directed at the sun? Was the sun covered before the race started? There's so many questions to be answered for the ground staff, at least.
Yeah, I think it was because the picture for me.
The picture tells it. As I say, a picture tells 1,000 words.
It is difficult though. Like we were in Naas today, and Alice Avrill's like a very good jumper. So the more fences, the better for her. And they dulled off the 2 up the straight to the race before, and it wasn't until they were down the start and they had a look at them, and thankfully the crowd came over, that they said, "Okay, we'll jump them." So like it is a touch and go decision. Yeah, I look, it was unfortunate. Thank God she's okay anyway. And she lives to fight another day. But on to the race, Royal Kahala deserved one of these, and she was a very good bumper horse. Tell Me Something Girl ran a nice race as well. And Heaven Help Us ran a cracker. I thought she was going to win for a second. And, you know, if you look at her form, these are a lot of the horses that she's going to be running against at Cheltenham, I think. And her form at Cheltenham is £10, I'd say, better. So I thought that did her chances of winning at Cheltenham, you know, no harm at all. And yeah, bring it on. I hope a few of you followed me in at 33s because she's now as short as 8s and as big as 14s. So yeah, I really am still very, very, very keen on her.
And I can echo what you said, but about Tell Me Something Girl, I was over the moon with that run. It was kind of what she done last year when she finished third behind Heaven Help Us in the handicap hurdle at the Dublin Racing Festival. The way she finished, the way she travelled, a bit shorter room coming up, that was enough for me to go in again on her. But look, it's shaping up to be quite a good race this year, the Mayor's Hurdle. Because you'll have the 3 of them in it, you'll have 1 or 2 of the English ones. But Dave, what do you make of this one?
I in the end took 25 is on Heaven Help Us, and I think she will win at Cheltenham.
Go on, Dave.
I'm just going to record this part for when Tell Me Something Girl does you on the line.
I do think Tell Me Something Girl is the danger at Cheltenham, but it was just all a price thing about Heaven Help Us. Like the price as she was, I couldn't believe when she got beat in the international or whatever it is, Cheltenham, that she went out again. That was
he's gone.
He's
gone. Ballybeg internet gone down.
Damn it! Oh well.
But look,
shame for the Dave fans out there, of which there's many judge her by his Christmas presents.
Yeah, but on the day I actually backed Heaven Help Us because I thought the way the race would have panned out, she would have got her own way up front, and the step up and trip was going to suit her. I thought she should have won. I think if she had a better jump at the last, as in a quicker jump, she kind of slowed up going into it a bit. I thought she would have held on, but it's going to be one hell of a race at Cheltenham. He's gone off and he's had to come back white as a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Like a poltergeist. Right. Oh shit, wrong button. Moving on now. Fury Road. I think this is one of the most underappreciated performances of the week. I thought this was very impressive.
Shit race.
I thought it was a good performance, considering. He travelled well, jumped well, put the race to bed well. I could. Wherever he turns up now, he could be a fly in the
ointment. For the RSA, so yeah.
I am not. He's a 4-miler that doesn't stay 4 miles.
That Vanillier is shite, lads.
Yeah, he's
Vanillier, you want to give up on him, he can't jump a fence. He slows down at every second fence.
Every time he sees a fence, he goes slower for 3 strides.
Yeah. He would be 3 lengths ahead. By the time he hits the other side, he's 3 lengths behind.
Andrew, that was a shit race.
They want to put him back over hurdles. I don't know. I think he has good back form. He was in that Albert Bartlett with Monkfish, latest exhibition, and the other fella, Time Hill. There's a bit of class to him, and I think he's finally fighting his feet over fences. There could be a big one in him. But shouldn't see you have no fucking interest in it. So move on.
Shit race.
Now, I was writing this today, and I found it hard to put this down. Sharjah joins the greats of the 2-mile hurdlers. Yes, he's at the win at 4, but you can't put him in the same bracket as Hurricane Fly, can you? And Istabrack.
Another just... The division is just not good, like, so...
He's a lovely horse.
He is. He's a very good horse. Be placed in, 3 champion hurdles and win 4 of these. Would not be cribbing if he was one of mine, but to put him up with that is... It's madness. But look, you can only be what you can... What?
On wins-wise, winning that race, that's why he's in the same bracket as them for that race. And fair play to him. he's a lovely horse to own. Like I think he's
I'd
one
love
of
to
those.
own him.
If you loved him, you would. If you loved him, that was the second one I was going to say. If you owned him, I feel you would absolutely love the horse because he brings you
course
to
you
so many big days out. He runs his heart out. I think you would just think he's an absolute legend of a horse, which I'm sure they do. And yeah, I'd love to have one like him. He's just a dude. So.
And I thought Jack Kennedy gave Zanny here a great ride. Even when they bypassed the last, they try to keep charge out on the old ground that was dug up from the day before. Nearly paid off. He's not turning out to be a bad horse in the end. I think the more racing he's having, the better he's kind of getting to know the game. Still looks a stare.
Yeah, I think there's a big. I don't think he'll win, but I think he'll place in a big race.
I can't get over how white you look, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know why that is.
Right. Right, moving on to Sage Star. I didn't see this race, so I have not to say about it. I didn't even watch it back.
Oh, I watched this, boys. I tell you, I watched this and feckin' enjoyed this one. Because West Balboa
Tom has his own reason.
Second in the Grade 1 shallow hurdle is a full sister to Pimlico Racing's Cotty. So fair play to
where to God, I thought that was something else you had to put on the screen.
And now he's frozen.
I really did. I was like, what in the name of God is this chas up to?
The dog is trying to eat me pet dinosaur. Go
I'm glad you said pet dinosaur. Jesus.
I know it was great it was great to see her place anyway. For
your benefit.
For my benefit, that we bought Cotty, and definitely Cotty's owner's benefit.
Alfie's that's not Alfie, damn it.
Oh,
not Alfie, it's Molly.
Oh.
But yeah, apart from that, for obvious reasons, because Cotty was a nice broodmare prospect. She's now a very, very nice broodmare prospect. Stage Star, Andrew, not Sage Star.
Is it a stage? I have to write too many of them. Who cares?
Was very impressive.
What's his name?
I think Stage Star, Stage.
Fixed.
Star.
There you go. Stage Star. I just spelled that wrong. The screen is so far away from me, I can't see it.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
I look. He was very impressive. He was very impressive. I think he's the type to be placed in a novice race at Cheltenham, but I think he's bound to find too good wherever he goes. To be
honest. Right. I don't care about that race. The boom is back. We care about this. Album Photo wins 4. Savage chases at Tremor. Willie Mullins seems to be quite optimistic about his chances in the Gold Cup. And why wouldn't you be if he's a 2-time Gold Cup winner? But he seems to be the poor out legs will be gone by then. Can you give him a chance in the Gold Cup? Dave?
No.
Tom? No.
No.
That comment is uncalled for. I thought it was the ex's dog. That's the dog I don't have anymore.
Hey.
There's a different dog.
Andrew's the one who called him Alfie.
No, it isn't. Shut up, you.
That's look, no, he's gonna.
What are we talking about? Album Photo.
Yeah, that lad.
The fuck is wrong with this internet?
We could literally say Anthony now and he can't hear us. Can you hear us? The joys of live television. He's gone again.
Anyway, what Dave was about to say is no, Album Photo's got no chance at Gold Cup.
Correct. And he's still going to back him each way. Mm-hmm. Right, moving on. Hillcrest burst the I Am Maximus bubble. I really liked his performance. Never looked like he was really going to get beat. Looks a stare in the making. Fence is going to be making of him. But Tom, Iron Maximus kind of was the English hope at the start of the season. Bubble well and truly burst.
Yeah. In fairness, look, they've gone and pulled well clear, but they've pulled well clear of 120 something horses. So, I mean, it was a listed race. That was the level it was, to be fair. Hillcrest looks a nice horse, but I would have him as more of a staying chaser. And I think you'll see the best of him as a staying chaser next year, to be honest.
Is that the freezing again? Can you hear us?
No, I'm here now, I think. Yeah, my internet completely went there. I don't know what happened.
And now his mouth is moving and it's not coming out. It's like throwing his voice. Oh, brilliant. Oh, right, move on. Now, I don't even know how to say Le Homme Pre.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say that French word for me.
Is it working? L'Homme Presse.
I said that like 5 minutes ago, and now he hears it.
Jesus Christ.
What's going on?
Dave's gone. No, I'll take this one, Dave, and you can jump in about half an hour when you hear me say jump in. Yeah, look, I thought he was impressive. Obviously, he jumps quite well. When he's right at one, he's very accurate.
On again.
He's every right now. He's every right to go and contest a good grade one. Whether he's good enough to win one, I would question.
No, he's not.
He certainly looks like an improver, and when he's right at his fences, he's very good. So, look, he's interesting.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Who he reminds me of?
Royal Pagaille.
No, St. Calvados. Remember when he used to bolt up in races before he went to the Arkle? And we just weren't sold on. And this is a fella I'm still not sold on at all. Yeah, he beat the Glancing... Was it the Glancing Queen or someone like that? Go back to what you said then about Riviere de Tel. If the Glancing Queen ran in a marsh against Bob and all of them, where would she be? She'd be pulled up at the top of the hill. And this is the kind of... Sam from Next Gen Racing, I had this conversation with him on... over the phone.
Am I back?
Yeah. It's great as ever.
Am I working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I know. I'm still white but am I back?
Yeah. I'm kind of talking to you there, which kind of says that you're back.
Still seems delayed.
Anyway, Tom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. So somebody says in the comments another British horse who's been bolting up to Smith straight away. Not at all. I just said I think he's got every right now to go and contest one of those grade ones at the festival, and he jumps very well. But I just think he'll run into one. I think Bob would beat him, to be honest.
I just think he's lacking something. Yes, he can go and win the races, beating all these horses. I just think come the day, come Cheltenham, come the festival, he's going to have a lot better horses that he's going to come up against. And I just think he's going to fall short. Can he place in it? Of course he can place in it. Can he win? I don't think he will. Because there's going to be at least 2 or 3 horses that are better than him in it.
It is just a fact as well, right?
Yeah.
It's a fact that a lot of the good horses at the minute are in Ireland. How many good Irish horses there? How many horses has Willie Mullins got that would have gone and done that against that field? A good few, I'd imagine. So,
yeah. See, they keep coming back to this, it's English horse, English. It's not, as Tom said there, the fact that the best horses are in Ireland. And if the best horses were in England, we'd be saying this horse, whoever it be in England, is going to win X race. It's not an English or Irish thing at all. As I say every single time, I just don't think this thing has what it takes to win a marsh. Plain and simple. It could be from Mars for all I care. I just don't think it has.
Dave, did you just put something in? I've just discovered there's a private chat on our thing.
That's unreal.
Just written in the private chat. I never knew there was.
I wish we could show people this.
Dave has just said. So, guys, I'll talk on behalf of Dave now. He said he was unreal.
Add
Dave,
something to it, Dave, please.
Typing. Ye are wrong about the home.
Class performance.
Class performance. There you go. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for your contribution to the show.
Oh, he's typing there now. Hold up now. The suspense is killing me. If he was, if he was trained by Henry. Oh, come on, will you? For the love of God. I need to teach you how to type faster as well. You two dose will be jumping around the room. No.
No, look, I think he's a nice horse. I can see him placed in one of those grade ones. Probably the 2 mile 4, whatever they've called that now this year. But I just think there's probably one there to beat him. And at the minute, it's Bob in that race, isn't it? So I think if Bob turns up there in full form, you can't say that we're anti the English horse just because we think Bob is going to beat him. Like,
okay, I don't get the whole why people think we're against English horses at all, because we're not. We're giving our view on the race, be that a horse be English, Irish, French. We tell you what we think about it. Like we said, John Bond is the one to beat in the Supreme when he won at whether Newbury or Cheltenham, wherever the hell he won. There was no saying, "Oh, Irish bloody bias." Now, was there?
Ben in the comments says, "Can I name a 2.5 mile novice that would beat him that Willie trains?" Ben, I could. However, that may ruin the Anti-Post show next week, so you'll have to tune in and find out.
Blue Lord, he went over 2 miles forward, beating.
Fuck's sake, Andrew!
What I mean, sorry, Tom.
No one's gonna watch it now. They're gonna be like, "Oh, they get to my part," and it'll be like, "Skip."
Let's be honest, no one's going to watch it for any of us anyway. Is that who you're talking, Blue Lord? I was looking at it as well.
16-1, right? My theory, my fucking mind.
I should give it away. Give another one next week.
My theory is that they'll split Ferny Hollow and Blue Lord, and Ferny is 100% going to the Arkle, and if they split them up, Blue Lord could go here. That is my theory. He could go for the Arkle as well, but at 16-1, considering it's a race that lacks strength and depth, I would take a chance that they split them up. They might not split them up, but they may.
I agree. Has the cat got your tongue, or should I say the dog?
Prime example, Blue Lord hasn't been better than the home press. I'd argue that. I thought he was really impressive today. And the other thing is he's doubled the price. So he hasn't been half as good as Lahon Press. He's definitely been somewhere near as good as him. So.
Yeah. Can you talk at all, or is your mic on, or what? Make some sort of noise. Make a dinosaur roar. Oh, jeez, we can hear him. Yeah.
It's all delayed and stuff, so that's why I was typing.
Horton Clure is the other one, Dave. Yeah, Horton Clure is the other Mullins horse for that 2.5 miles.
You're wrong about that Nisha Williams horse. He's very good.
Of course we are. If we say something,
you're talking to Andrew here, by the way, because I said I think he is good. I think he's good enough to place in a.
I just said he can't win a marsh, and you said the same thing, but you said it nicely. Tom, can he win the marsh?
Can he win the marsh?
Will he win the marsh? Will he win the marsh? Will he win the marsh?
I don't think so. No, I think there'll be something there to be.
If that horse was trained by Henry de Bromhead, Andrew, because the way he races, he tanks
what's this
around
whole obsession with Henry de Bromhead? How many Henry de Bromhead's horses did I back over Christmas? I can tell you now, it was two. It was two. Manila, Indo, and Journey with Me.
He tanks himself around. He tanks himself around, and he does things wrong, and he still wins easy. You'd be running around Ballybeg naked, screaming that he's going to win the marsh.
I wouldn't. He's the next St. Calvados. That's what I think he is. He's going to be one of these horses that will look unbelievable against cat English horses or whatever. A horse that you be what?
Maybe Bob is the next Envoy Allen. Was the first Sam Crow.
Maybe you're talking shite. Anytime I have an opinion about a horse that it looks like he's actually half decent, then I crib about someone else's. I'm always wrong.
Nah, you actually hate English horses. You do, like.
How do I?
You do. Even Thomas is shaking his head.
I don't hate English horses at all. You name me some horses right now that are English that
Native River.
Native River's a legend. He's retired. God bless him and save us.
This is the ghost of Dave coming to tell you to stop loving Henry the Bromhead.
Where are you getting this at? What's the whole obsession? Just because I put up 4 Henry Bromhead horses last year that all won, suddenly I'm obsessed with him. I think he's a good trainer. But again, I said Willie Mullins is a lot better trainer than him.
Andrew, here's a comment that you would like. Andrew doesn't hate the English horses. He just thinks all of them are shite.
See, that's not hating. That's not hating. That's just telling the truth. And I said last year, what did I say in another podcast last year? Somebody asked me in a podcast last year, how many winners will the Irish have? I said 23, and I was laughed at. And I wasn't taking the piss. Maybe I'm just looking at races in a different way that everyone else looks at them.
That is a point as well, lads. That how many winners did Ireland have? 23 or 24, was it?
23.
Yeah, like there's a lot of good horses in Ireland, so it's easy to like the good horses and not like the bad horses.
Oh, my battery's just gone dead. This is the worst battery in the world on this thing. I'm still here though.
He's gone. Look like Casper.
I'm still here. The battery's gone dead on us. He's after throwing his toys out the pram. He's gone.
Your battery's gone dead.
Your internet.
Your battery's gone dead. My bloody thing makes me look. My thing makes me look like Casper, the friendly ghost.
I'm the only one hanging in here.
I really need to get a bigger battery for that. It's the first thing I'm buying.
Andrew, let's wrap this up, will we?
All right, boys. Jesus, sorry. Where are we? Stormy Ireland. Raise the rail keel hurdle. Irish horse come out to England and win again. Shock horror.
She probably would have lost if the other fella stood up.
Oh,
I think she'd have been beat. Yeah. See,
would have.
For everyone who says we hate the English horses, we think an Irish horse would have been beat.
And shock horror. I backed Boone Upper Storm. Oh my God, I backed an English horse.
I'm very surprised at that.
You don't normally like them.
I know it was. I would think I was drunk. Don't know all of it.
My next thing was about to say. I'd say you drank too much red wine.
It's fantastic red wine, by the way. Yeah, not much as they want this.
Not a horse. Serve you right for
what?
Someone said the comment.
Oh yeah, that's okay. It's all right, lads. Cheltenham's not far away. Come back to me then, like last year. Dickheads, a lot of you. Absolute dickheads. Right.
The show was much improved. The show was much improved with Andrew blacked out.
All right, fair enough.
I'm fucking gone again, look.
Good. Right, last one. Mount Ida holds off Emily as the kettle boils over. What the hell is wrong? Put the kettle on, and Mount Ida and Ellie May had a good battle up the home straight. Questions that need to be answered. Mount Ida, Tom, you put it up if I missed. Did you put it up?
I did. I put it up for the Mayor's Chase 10 or 12 to 1. I'm telling you now. 12 to 1, and I am very happy with that. The only thing is she hung. She was hanging all over the shop, which I haven't seen her do that before, and it worried me a little bit, but hopefully they get that sorted out and she's okay. But again, I think a lot of these is what she's going to be running against, and she's going to beat them. she's got her Cheltenham form, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, it was good. Paul put the kettle on, just didn't run a race. But again, without coming back to it, there's a good few of them that haven't run a race this season, this Christmas period. So I would still give her a chance if they went to Cheltenham. Now, my only thing is, if they go to Cheltenham now, I think it's nigh on certain they're going to go for that Mayor's Chase, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah, you can't see her run anywhere else really.
Whew. She's 16-1 in a place for that Mayor's Chase.
Mount Ida?
No, put the kettle on.
Yeah. What?
Insulting. Constantista's favourite, and I've actually been impressed with Constantista. I know others haven't. Mount Ida's into 6-1 now, so happy days.
This show is falling apart. Dave's gone now.
Now Dave's gone. I'm just going to be sat here on my own soon, chatting away. But yeah, it's an interesting race, that Mayor's Chase. But yeah, Mount Ida was very good. Yeah, put the kettle on and have to see what happens.
Right on that. Dave is gone as well.
So, Andrew, somebody has just written in and said, US webcam utility, which is what comes up on your screen, talks more sense than Andrew. At least he respects the English horse.
It's true. He's a better person than Andrew ever will be.
Oh, very, very good. The other one was Ginto today. I was impressed with that.
Yes.
Yeah, he pricked his ears and everything, I thought, and yeah.
Here's the question: do you stick over that trip, or do you bring him up? To me, I think he has this kind of one pace gallop that not many not many horses can live with, and you can see the way he burned off all the challengers that came up next to him.
I don't know. He's versatile. He's versatile. It'd be interesting to see where he goes. I thought Hollow Games ran well in behind him, and Henry Torse looked like he was going to bolt up at one stage. So interesting to see what they do with him. But yeah, Ginto really ground it out in fairness to him. I think he's a nice horse, and I have him down now. I think he could be a very smart chaser in a year or two's time. I reckon he could go right to the top.
Yeah, there's something about him that makes him stand out.
Yeah,
I think it's just the will. Yeah, the will to win, and just the way he goes about himself. He just never seems beat. Right. On that note, with Dave gone, we'll call it. Oh, look, Dave's friend is back. Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on tonight?
Oh, we've got the clue, lads.
That's what happens at Christmas. Right. On that note, we're back on Wednesday for another weekend preview, and we'll be back with our Cheltenham Festival anti-post video. So until then, have a safe and happy New Year, and we will see you again Wednesday for another weekend preview.